Hello everyone, it's Barbara Ann. Welcome back to my channel, Straight Out of Context. Copyright disclaimer. Under the Copyright Act of 1976, I am within my full legal right to share these following clips via video and audio. The following creators allow reshare, redistribution, and download of their content, and as always, I credit in the description box down below. Fair use, public domain, TikTok third-party license, and TikTok live automatic third-party license for the use of commentary, reaction, teaching, news reporting, research, comment, and criticism. I am legally within my basic human, civil, and constitutional right to share under the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, to share my expressions, views, thoughts, opinions, feelings, and critiques. The First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution guarantees my freedom of religion, freedom to exercise of, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, free assembly, and the right to petition the government and air my grievances. The First Amendment does not cover lies that amount to defamation, slander, libel, harassment, stalking, cyberstalking, bullying, cyberbullying, threats, or any other verbal crimes. I am the Lord, your God. You shall take no other gods before me. This is the first of 10 very explicit rules laid out by God for mankind. So why do fans who love and revere Taylor Swift so deeply treat her as if she is a god? Defend her like she is first and the most holy. What is the demonic driving force that truly makes Swifties unable to see what is right before their eyes? The deep mental, emotional, psychological manipulation that is happening to them. And why does it take so long for so many of them to truly break free? For a moment, just consider this. Taylor Swift just announced her 12th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl. She has released 7 different pre-order variants of said album. Exclusive, limited edition, only pressings, while supplies last. The psychological marketing strategy of a countdown timer to when you no longer can order, aka pay Taylor Swift more money. So why are Swifties under a spell? And why are they so happy to be financially taken advantage of by Taylor Swift? Think about that. You got the official release date of October 3rd, 2025 of her album. And you have the album, the cassette, the vinyl. You have a limited edition yellow and blue vinyl, a limited edition purple and green vinyl, and there's still the pink and silver one that has not been unlocked, bringing the variants to over 7. But the really crazy part is that psychological manipulation is only playing on the people that love Taylor Swift and are very devout to her endlessly. Because one thing she has not done is giving you a preview or a snippet of one, let alone any of the 12 tracks to know if you want to buy it. That is too much audacity for me to respect. The way she treats her own fan base. The way she weaponizes them even further. But the way that she gaslights and manipulates her own fans, her own following, stringing them along with intelligence and Easter eggs, broken promises, and false dreams. Is there something truly more sinister, more nefarious, and darker going on with Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift.
Narc.
What? What?
Big narcissist.
What?
Yeah.
The Swifties.
Well, let them Swift at me. Listen, I done been through the worst. I done been, listen.
Why is Taylor Swift an narc?
Because it's the arrogance. They all are. To be in the industry, you have to have that cutthroat, kill or be killed mentality. You have to 100%. Even, I see stuff, I can sit here and say stuff that will scare people that people don't usually see. Her and Beyonce been in cahoots for a minute, and I think all of this stuff is tied together as in terms of ritual, demonic ritual. Remember the time that Kanye got on stage and snatched Taylor, took the mic and embarrassed her, and then Beyonce came on. I think all of that is tied. Even Usher at the Super Bowl with Alicia Keys dressed in the red and they performing. There is symbolism. It's all ritual. They're all connected. They're all on the same team. So I don't want to get too deep. Taylor, I feel, yes, she's a narc. They all are. All of them are. They all are.
Sociopathic and borderline with narcissistic traits and tendencies. That is exactly how I would describe Taylor Swift. Placating and using people to get to where she wants to be and then ghosting them. It's narcissism 101.
One of the oldest conspiracy theories surrounding Taylor is that she is the clone of Zeena LaVey, the daughter of Anton LaVey, founder of the Church of Satan. This theory hinges on the striking resemblance between Taylor and Zeena in her younger years. Believers suggest that the Illuminati cloned Zeena to create Taylor, aiming to use her influence to subtly promote satanic imagery through pop music. This theory has gained traction online, numerous side-by-side photo comparisons fueling the speculation.
When Zeena LaVey was younger, they did look similar, and Zeena LaVey was into music as well. I think they're both alive right now, but I think that doesn't matter if they're clones.
Taylor's well-known affinity for the number 13 has sparked theories that it holds deeper occult significance. However, some conspiracy enthusiasts argue that the number is associated with the Illuminati or other secret societies. They point to her frequent Easter eggs in music videos as evidence of occult messaging or her involvement in the dark arts.
I love those too, where it's like, I watched the music video for Look What You Made Me Do, and I saw this in it. And I'm like, go on TikTok, find a Swiftie. 2 minutes later, you're going to understand that's actually from like 3 albums ago. It doesn't have to do with the devil. It's like an internal reference.
Taylor Swift really is demon possessed. We are handling this all wrong. I don't go through my life thinking Taylor Swift is demon possessed, but I know that there are a lot of people that love Jesus that do think that she is. I'm not going to get into whether she is or not, but I am going to get into the fact that we see how Jesus interacts with somebody who's demon possessed in Mark. Mark is a story of Jesus' life that was written down, and in it, there is a very countercultural story of how to deal with somebody who's demon-possessed. Every time people talk about how Taylor Swift is demonic and demon-possessed and she sold her soul to the devil, all I see is cut her off, do not listen to her, she is evil, you cannot go near her. That's exactly where we find this guy in Mark. He's demon-possessed and his community has sent him out. It says, this man lived in the tombs, for no one could bind him anymore, not even with a chain. He'd been often chained hand and foot, but he tore the chains apart. He was like having a rough go. Night and day among the tombs in the hills, he would cry out and cut himself with stones. Okay, so society was over this man. They were like, he's demon possessed, send him away. Do you know what that did for that man? It just led him to be more isolated. It led him to hurt himself more. And there was no like hope for him. They'd given up on him. That's kind of what I see Christians doing now with Taylor Swift. Christians who think that she's possessed. They're like, she's evil, cut her out, don't interact with her. But we see that Jesus actually went across the lake to this region. And when you read it in context, you see that he specifically went out of his way to go find this man. It says they went across the lake to the region of the Gerasenes. When Jesus got out of the boat, a man with an impure spirit came from the tombs to meet him. This man lived in the tombs. No one could bind him anymore, not even with a chain, for he'd been often chained hand and foot, but he tore them apart, broke the irons with his feet. No one was strong enough to subdue him. Night and day among the tombs in the hills, he would cry out and cut himself with stones. When he saw Jesus from a distance, he ran, fell to his knees. He shouted at the top of his voice, "What do you want with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? In the name of God, don't torture me." For Jesus had said to him, "Come out of this man, you impure spirit." Then Jesus asked him, "What was your name?" Jesus talks to this man, cares about him, and ends up getting the demons out of him, sending them into pigs. And people in the town were mad. This was not a popular response for how to handle someone that was demon possessed. He ended up like all the pigs ran off the cliff. That was like someone's whole livelihood. Like the equivalent of now millions of dollars just ran off a cliff because Jesus cared more about this man and his heart and his salvation and his like being able to have a relationship with God than he did what other people thought of him. And I don't have a solution for how to handle Taylor Swift if she really is demon possessed, but I'm pretty sure that it's not just judging her and being mean on the internet and telling everybody that she's evil. Having discernment is important. We've talked about this. I am not saying you have to listen to Taylor Swift. I'm not saying she's perfect. I'm not saying any of those things. I think that like the Holy Spirit will convict you of things that you feel convicted to. And I think that we should all submit it to God and pray about it. But I also think that if you really believe somebody is demon possessed, that means they are experiencing the worst thing that they could experience. And we know that there's a God who offers deliverance from that. And so I don't know why we would just say, cut her off, banish her, when we know that there is an answer to that agony and that torture. Like, I don't know why we wouldn't interact with her in a more loving way, because we don't see Jesus walk up to the demon possessed man and say, "You're evil, walk away from me." We see Jesus go towards the man, and we see Jesus heal the man, and then Jesus like restore him into relationship at the cost of everybody else not liking him.
Goal is to be famous, then you're gonna do a lot to get there, like sign your name in blood in a contract with the devil.
I kind of sang about, you know, what was going on in my life at 15, and that's how I got introduced to the music industry. I swear I wanted to be like the Amy Grant of music, but it didn't work out, and so I sold my soul to the devil. Well, needless to say, sold my soul.
devil with a rap. I sold my soul to the devil, I'll never get it back. I just wanna leave.
Do you record while the bus is moving, or does it have to come to a stop?
Yeah, well, sometimes they don't want to, and they're, you know, Gaga, we can't get, you know, the frequency's weird, and, you know, it's sounding a little bit strange, and I'm like, if you don't get this right now, I swear to Lucifer, I'm gonna, you know, I get a little bit mad.
I sold my soul to the devil. I know it's a crappy deal. This it came with a few toys like a Happy Meal.
Why is your hand over your eye?
Because I'm a devil worshiper. What are you talking about?
All right, well, I have tickets to see the devil worshiper.
Roman is a crazy boy.
I think it's too thin. I need more hair.
Hair talk at Hendersonville High is a serious subject for 15-year-old Taylor Swift, considering her hair and face are already in national magazine ads and coming soon to the cover of her first big record.
Everything that we should be. I'll bet she's beautiful. That girl who talks about. And she's got everything that I have to live without.
She came to Nashville last year writing her own songs, singing them, and hoping someone would like them. Toby Keith did. So much so that he just signed her to his new record label. That makes them partners.
You're in the room with him and you can feel it. There's a power there and you're just like, oh my God. Just another picture to buy.
Now, a year later, Music Row agrees. Her first record comes out in a few months. She'll tour and start the career she says she's been working for her entire life. All 15 years of it.
Most people find out what they're going to do when they're in college, and that's great, you know? But I guess for me, it just came a little earlier. And I'm so thankful for that because this happens to be a dream come true for me.
People who worship Satan, Part 7, Taylor Swift.
Desperate people find faith, so now I pray to Jesus too. It's a revolution. The time will come for us to finally win, and we'll sing hallelujah. We'll sing hallelujah. Well, folks, you can't get any more nefarious than that if you understood.
And see her disguising these policies behind the words Tennessee Christian values. Those aren't Tennessee Christian values. I live in Tennessee. I am Christian. That's not what we stand for.
Is Taylor Swift using witchcraft to give her fans amnesia after her shows? Well, we all know Taylor Swift has a lot of fans, and a lot of crazy fans. They even refer to themselves as Swifties. And apparently these Swifties have been coming out left and right claiming they're getting amnesia from going to her shows. Now this seems kind of kooky, but apparently these experts are saying this is a real thing.
A neurologic phenomenon that can happen in any heightened emotional state.
It's fascinating that it takes a Taylor Swift concert or multiple concerts for this to become topical, because this is something that you know happens. It's a normal process, actually.
I don't know, guys. I'm not sold on this one. I do not think this is normal. I've been to hundreds of concerts, never happened to me or anyone I've ever met before. And why does this only happen at Taylor Swift shows? Why wouldn't this happen at, let's say, Coachella, or Stagecoach, or Vans Warped Tour, or heck, even Burning Man? What, are these fans not having as much fun as the Swifties are? Or is there something else to it? And then you go on the internet, and you realize there's a lot of rumors about her promoting witchcraft and casting spells, and using subliminal messaging and possibly hypnosis in her songs and music. And some people are claiming that that's the reason why these kids are suffering from amnesia. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this a social contagion, or is this a conspiracy?
Summoning demons, or is the demon?
Taylor Swift is able to stay relevant for so long because she works with the Illuminati and the devil? There's a huge conspiracy that Taylor Swift is the rejuvenated clone of Zeena LaVey, the high priestess of the Church of Satan. Zeena is actually the daughter of the man who started the church himself, and they happen to look a lot alike. The lips, nose, eyes, if Taylor just drew her eyebrows on like that, they would be identical. They also have really similar stylistic choices of how they present their hair, their outfits, their lips. And if someone was powerful enough to get cloned, it'd be the person who's the head of the Church of Satan. Also, the both of them are very much into snakes, a huge part of their brand, and handling snakes. and are very big on revenge and this aesthetic. And they're both known singer, songwriter, and performers as if it's just in their blood. Before I show the craziest piece of evidence, make sure you follow so you finally know the craziest conspiracy theories about all of these celebrities and request which you want to see next. Guess when Zeena gave up her position as the high priestess of the Church of Satan to pass it on to the next? 1989. So maybe that's when Taylor was cloned, born, and set into motion.
I was born on the 13th.
Is this a coincidence? I think not, but you tell me.
I turned 13 on Friday the 13th. My first album went gold in the US in 13 weeks. Every time I've won an award at an award show, I've been seated in row M, which is the 13th letter, or like the 13th seat, or the 13th row, or the 13th section. It's really a good number.
Wait, hold on, there's more.
You guys know what Super Bowl this is? It's 58. You know what 5 plus 8 is? 13. It's Taylor Swift's album called 13. Yo! Dang! You guys know the date of the Super Bowl? It's the 11th. Yeah. Of? February. 11 plus 2. Yeah. Yo! Who are they playing? The 49ers. It's 4 plus 9. Dude, come on. 13. Just saying. What seed are the 49ers? The 1 seed. What seed are the Chiefs? The 2 seed. No, the 3. 1 and 3. 13. This dude is so stupid. Where's Taylor Swift coming from? She's coming from Tokyo to the Super Bowl. What does that mean? A flight from Tokyo to Las Vegas. 13 hours. 13 hours. And I'm not even kidding. What the You know how many games Taylor Swift has been to? 13. 12. This is the 13? The Super Bowl will be the 13. Is this all true?
Yeah, no, this is all for real. Brock Purdy's jersey number is 13, so that's 8. The funny thing is, in numerology, 13 actually symbolizes good luck. If you made it this far, there's absolutely no way you watched all of that and thought to yourself, that's just a coincidence. Hell no. But what are your guys' thoughts? Let me know in the comments.
Taylor Swift is the most satanic out of all.
Bro, she's a witch.
No, because she's a witch.
She's a literal witch.
She's the worst of them because she tries to be this like, oh, I'm like so cute and lovable and all the kids love me and all the girls love me. But she's the most evil of them all, and they're all fucking mind controlled by this
that's how they
fucking
do it. They
demon.
did it with Miley Cyrus. Used to be the cutest Hannah Montana on Disney, this and that, and then overnight she turned into a fucking prostitute.
Her voice in real life,
Now she sounds like a dude.
A lot of Christians will not listen to Taylor Swift anymore. They believe she's crossed a line, she's doing way too much demonic shit. There's a really interesting new crazy conspiracy theory about one of her songs in particular. Craziest conspiracy theory ever about Taylor Swift is that she is the rejuvenated clone of the high priestess of the Church of Satan, Zeena LaVey. Their lips, nose, eyes look identical. They both happen to have the same fixation of snakes and snake handling. And it's insane because they're both renowned singer-songwriters. Like, that's their main job. Each of them, they have too much in common. Now, in 2023, there's definitely been an uptick in the amount of demonic symbolism in Taylor Swift's music videos and songs. This amazing Christian TikToker, Karu, got millions of likes for saying,
"Here's why I don't listen to Taylor Swift anymore as a Christian."
His theory that he talks about specifically is about the Willow music video where there's this string attached to her piano, and anytime someone hears her play music, they get entranced and obsessed with her. They want to be by her. And his whole point was that people get so obsessed with Taylor to the point where they're almost worshiping her like she has their soul or something. In the video, she's on her ritualistic witch ceremony shit. He thinks all those oars represent people's souls who are obsessed with Taylor. And she follows that string right back to her piano because that's what gets people to be obsessed with her. That's where her power lies. This makes sense because Willow is very demonic coded on tour. Before I say the craziest part about this whole conspiracy theory, make sure you follow so you finally know the craziest conspiracy theories about each year's favorite celebrities and request who you want to see next. Taylor has a whole EP for this song called The Witch Collection with songs like Dancing Witch version, Lonely Witch version, Moonlit Witch version. She's admitting she's a witch.
One of the wildest conspiracy theories is that Zeena LaVey, daughter of the Church of Satan founder Anton LaVey, now known as Zeena Shreck, who helped her father run the Church of Satan and acted as the high priestess of the Church of Satan, has a very uncanny resemblance to the one and only Taylor Swift. Coincidence or clone? Illusion or Illuminati? With many people believing that Taylor Swift could have not possibly have gotten where she's at just based solely off of hard work and or talent, it's really hard to not go down this rabbit hole.
Did Taylor Swift become a Satanist? How did performer Taylor Swift transition from this to pushing the agenda, joining the occult, endorsing Satan, and doing rituals on stage similar to musicians like Doja Cat? That was her rendition of her song, Willow. In her video, she goes into the woods with her witch coven, gathers around a fire, and casts spells, introducing the occult to millions of her youthful followers.
Wait for the signal and I'll meet you after dark.
They are all wearing cloaks and are seen strolling through the woods while circling a fire casting spells. This is what Taylor Swift is about now. Tell me this is not a witch coven like those that gather at Stonehenge. Therefore, in her music video for and quote, "You Need to Calm Down" and quote, she promotes the occult, encourages her followers to worship witchcraft, and, of course, mocks Christians. She also advances an agenda. If there was ever any question that Taylor Swift cared about her Christian or conservative fans, her recent agenda and her outright mocking of Christians should make it clear to everyone that she is no longer interested in our principles. She doesn't need to be as obvious as performers like Doja Cat to demonstrate to us that she already supports evil.
You also did a video on Taylor Swift. That one was crazy.
Yeah.
So what did you find out with her?
She's definitely joined the Illuminati. A big part of her influence is because of them. That being said, something that I have never seen before with an Illuminati member, there was sort of this purity or this beauty that's in her soul and in her energy. It literally looked like a silver lining around her aura, which was incredible. So I think that there is a point in her career where she can switch sides. She could potentially be one of the biggest whistleblowers of our generation, which is really exciting. And then of course, nerve-wracking, because if she were to speak out on the truth of what's really going on, they would probably kill her.
Y'all, the more I hear from Taylor Swift, the more serious I become about warning people to stay away. She references a demon in this video. See if you can catch it.
I say witchy, and I stand by that. It felt like somebody standing over a potion, making a love potion, dreaming up the person that they want and the person they desire, and trying to figure out how to get that person in their life, and all the kind of misdirection and bait and switch and complexity that goes into seeing someone, feeling a connection, wanting them, and trying to make them a part of your life. It's tactical at times, it's confusing at times, it's up to fate, it's magical.
It's called manifestation. Weird. That's how human beings actually make sense of it. We're manifesting, but it's something else. It's something else.
They're right, it is something else. It's manipulation, which is witchcraft, and she references the demon of fate. If you want to learn more, go watch the video I pinned in the comments.
Taylor Swift is not human. You heard it here first. Taylor Swift is not human. This will all be common knowledge one day, but for now, she goes on stage, she sings her songs, and everybody thinks she is human. She is not. Taylor Swift is a giraffe. I know what you're thinking. She doesn't look like a giraffe. Yes, that is correct, but only because she is wearing her human skin. When she gets home and she is away from public eyes, she is able to go back to her natural form. Her neck extends, her other legs appear, and she is able to feast on the trees in her garden. You see, she knew she would not be able to have the career that she has today in her natural form. Yes, she is a very talented giraffe, but she is still a giraffe, and giraffes are not allowed to be pop stars. I think it's about time this changed. I think it's about time giraffes did not have to hide who they really are in order to thrive in the music industry. So what if they have long necks and protruding tongues? The music still sounds the same. She isn't the only animal pop star hiding in human skin. No, Katy Perry is a beaver, but that's a story for another day. I really do hope when this all comes out and Taylor admits to the world that she is a giraffe, people still treat her kindly and listen to her fantastic music. Giraffes have feelings too. Thank you for watching.
Very interesting take. Taylor Swift concert tour called Eras, that somehow there's witchcraft happening in the concert. And the problem with the concert is that whether Taylor knew she was trying to imitate witches is sort of irrelevant to the demons. She is an incredibly talented, influential artist, so the demons will take deep note of what she's doing and how she's doing it and who she's influencing. When they imitate these rituals with these orbs and these black capes, even if her intent was not to practice any witchcraft or do any of the incantations, she is probably attracting attracting a lot of demons to her concerts. That's where the problem can lie, because then you have these little girls who literally sort of worship her, who are now putting themselves in a position where they could be attacked by demonic forces. Not saying that's going to happen to everybody, but you're definitely putting yourself in a very dangerous situation if you're going to a concert where there's somebody who's imitating or even practicing the art of witchcraft. I would say don't do it. Skip the concert.
The devil's real and he wants to take you out. Don't leave any door open for him. If you agree, type amen in the comments.
From everything I have heard from people in Hollywood, she's a mean girl. And the whole nice girl thing is a brand. And I think Icarus flew a little too close to the sun this time. And she's disappeared. She's done the thing. She's very smart. I like her in marketing because she knows when to disappear. And she knew to disappear. And so Taylor Swift's gone. Like, we were seeing her a lot.
Right.
And now she's like constantly
Well, it's also NFL season is over right now.
Yeah, but she's constantly having her media person, Tree, like Tree Payne, I think her name is telling everybody, like, she wants nothing to do with this case. She wants nothing to do with the case. And I'm like, because there's something in those messages that's going to be like, it's going to be a different Taylor Swift than I think the world is ready for. I don't like how she maneuvers in the press, and for people who can't read the press, and she's done a few things where I've been like, that was crazy, like that, and everyone thought she was a victim. Like the Scooter Braun thing was nuts. Like that was like, that is insane. He just purchased something and it was his, and then you like kind of made yourself richer by the whole Masters debate that they were having, which would have been way above the head of a 13-year-old understanding how business works. And I'm a little exhausted of the 35-year-old always victim. Like I'm 35, we're born the same year, girl. You know how business works. After a few contracts, you know how this works. Your dad owned a piece of your business. You didn't come in here like a Cardi B character being like, I signed a contract, I didn't understand it when I was 17 years old, and I didn't have a lawyer present. Your dad took a piece of the business of the first contract that you saw. He owned 15% of the first.
Right.
You're not a victim here. You weren't a victim back when you signed it when you were 15. Your dad may have underestimated what you were going to become. That's between daddy and daughter. That's not like, you had the lawyers. Her dad worked in private equity or banking. She did not come in. If Taylor Swift wasn't unspeakably famous, she would just have to settle with being rich.
Is Taylor Swift a clone of Zeena LaVey, who coincidentally was also an actress and singer-songwriter? Do the elites of the world truly have the money, the power, the connections, the wealth, and the fame to clone? And yes, she is still alive today. However, that doesn't mean that she wasn't cloned in 1989. But the more compelling evidence is what Zeena LaVey has to say about being a brand in and of herself, and how she wasn't able to pursue acting because she was so branded in the Church of Satan. And it has been speculated for years that Taylor Swift not only joined the Illuminati, but that she is summoning demons, with some people even speculating that Taylor Swift not only sold her soul to the devil, that she is in fact possessed by a demon.
Being an untouchable. And then that got worse. It was not only professionally that I realized, okay, now I am too branded. I am so much of an identity, and I am known too much. I am too branded. I can never just play a role.
Ironically and coincidentally, that is the same problem that Taylor Swift has. She is too branded.
That's never going to happen. I can't be like a versatile actress that can play a cowgirl 1 year, or not that I want to, but I'm just saying, hypothetically.
Is this why the Illuminati has been cloning people in Hollywood for over 50 years now?
That, I couldn't play a role of like a baseball mom or something like that. It's just not going to happen because word would spread. First of all, my name, because not at that time, not many people had that last name, LaVey, and then that would ring alarm bells.
Taylor Swift openly says she's a witch. Pay attention.
So Taylor Swift is finally showing you guys who she truly is, and you're still not paying attention, huh? She literally called herself a witch in this tweet. Billboard chart says this is a song for all the lonely witches. Y'all think they're just putting on an artistic act? This woman was on tour going state to state, doing live rituals on stage. And nobody's paying attention to it, huh? You're that brainwashed.
Listen. Listen to what she says.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a serpent behind her. Y'all waking up yet? Last week's sweetheart has turned to this week's witch. In that video, she was acting like she was in hell. So yeah, last week's sweetheart has turned to this week's witch in hell. But are you catching on yet? Witch in front of a serpent. Let's go deeper, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't it interesting that Taylor Swift looks exactly like Zeena LaVey? Who is Zeena LaVey, you might ask? She's Anton LaVey's daughter. Anton LaVey was the founder of the Satanic Church, and his daughter, Zeena LaVey, was a high priestess for Satan. Safe to say she was a witch. Oh, how the resemblance is remarkable. So America's Sweetheart blew up being America's Sweetheart, but now she's trying to make it cool to be a witch. Why is that? Well, I said it before, you do not get this big without certain contracts being...
In fact, Taylor Swift, one of the biggest artists, if not the biggest artist right now, has done videos mocking Christians. And one thing that really does break my heart is a number of Christians that do not care. They do not care that she thinks that you're uneducated, stupid, and not really a Christian if you don't support abortion. And they just keep listening to her, and they're just one of the many Swifties. And in fact, she made this is a video from 4 years ago. And in that video with Taylor Swift, she actually mocks Christians over and over. In fact, she puts herself in a trailer park in the video You Need to Calm Down. And in that trailer park, while she's in it, she's a part of a gay wedding where two men kiss in the video. She's dancing around with men dressed like women. And then, of course, they're seen as beautiful and bright. But, of course, there are those protesting gay marriage. And those trailer park folk are just too dumb to be able to spell certain words that she makes sure they look really dumb when they can't spell. And by the way, this is many years before she has openly now done entire concerts where she is coming out as a witch. I mean, ultimately, that's what she's doing. She's performing witchcraft. You can see that it's very clear that's what she's into. And
yes! Summon the demons!
This is Taylor Swift's song Willow, where she is a witch doing rituals. So the first video that you saw was taken by a fan the other night at the concert, and he says, yes, summon the demons be. The worst part is she commented twice, and she says, is this the new 1, 2, 3, let's go be? So she's saying, is summon the demons the new crowd chant that they say when she does this witchcraft ritual? And then below, she just comments laughing emojis. It's pretty comical to me that people keep saying, stop shoving Christianity down our throats, when the world, society, huge artists, movies, everything is shoving witchcraft and rituals, crystals, astrology, all that. They're shoving it down our throat, and God forbid someone says Jesus loves you. Isn't it interesting that the moment you tell someone God loves you, they go ballistic? Like that's bad news. You can talk about any God, any religion, anything, and people will be like, oh yeah, that's cool, I respect that, but not Christianity. And it's because their demons get angry. Every time you mention God, every time you mention Jesus, they start foaming at the mouth, they start screaming, they start manifesting demons. The demons don't want to hear about Jesus. That's the only name they're afraid of. That's the only name they have to answer to. That's the only name that sends them to hell, screaming. It's also really sad to see how blatant and demonic the music industry, Hollywood, and artists are becoming. So yeah, she's aware of the narrative. She's aware that people know that she's doing a witchcraft ritual. She's aware that people are saying she's doing rituals on stage, and she thinks it's cute, she thinks it's funny, and she wants the crowd to chant, summon the demons.
Here's the Karma music video. Oh no, this isn't demonic. This isn't oh, sorry guys, I thought this was demonic. This isn't demonic at all. I mean, not like those are demons and that she doesn't have a Satan mask on. This is just coincidence. Can't be demonic, right? Let's see. No. Wait, is that Taylor Swift? behind that mask? Let's rewind. Hold on. There's no way. No way. Oh, I let my kids listen to this. My daughter loves Taylor Swift, sings it in the car. Karma is a god. This is Karma, that song. That Hindu New Age song about, I don't know what she was talking about, Spider-Man or something. Who knows? Not demonic at all. Just, it's not symbolic for anything. Oh, that's Taylor Swift behind the devil mask. She's an innocent little devil. Guys, what are we doing out here? Why are Christians defending this? The devil, Lord of the underworld. You know, she just wants to be like him.
They have their hand in so many sinister stews. You know, it's like, because it's not just government that they rule. Almost every rock star, if you're famous, if you're played on the radio, if people know you, and not just in your home state, but in all the states, the Illuminati probably made you famous. You know, when Taylor Swift came out, I told people she's going to go the same route as Miley Cyrus and Britney Spears. And you're like, oh no, she's so nice and she's a Christian girl and my kids love her. And I was like, well, luckily for you, she's so young right now that by the time she goes off the rails, maybe your children won't like her anymore, because it's going to be probably 10 years from now. I said, but I'm telling you, she's going to go that route. You know, people are like, oh, no, she's Taylor Swift, clean-cut girl, she's wonderful. So, as you know, Taylor Swift admits that she does magic.
These are not conspiracy theories coming out of your mouth. This is experiences, because you've been there with these people. You were in these groups. So I just want people that are watching this to understand this is not somebody making up a theory or listening to other people online. This is somebody that has been in those circles, that has talked to these people.
No one knows that Taylor Swift is actually Zeena LaVey, a high priestess of the Church of Satan, in her second form. 3 details are spine-chilling. First, they look almost identical. Taylor was born in 1989 in Reading, Pennsylvania. Zeena was born in 1963 in San Francisco. 2 seemingly unrelated people, yet they look like twins. They both have golden hair, similar facial features, and even wear the same lipstick color. Most strikingly, their eyebrows and eyes are nearly the same. 2 people with no family ties looking this similar? That's suspicious. Second, both Taylor and Zeena are singer-songwriters. Zeena is an experienced artist, skilled in electronic and acoustic music, sound art, and more. Taylor, of course, has made a name for herself as a songwriter. But think about this. How did Taylor's songs become so popular right when she debuted? Could she have written such hits without experience and talent? It makes you wonder, are they really not the same person? Lastly, Taylor seems to have some sort of magical charm. Her beauty is key. Doesn't it seem like she's always been stunning? With no signs of aging, time doesn't seem to touch her. In her music video for Willow, there's a subtle hint of her allure. In her music video, she follows a golden thread into a piano world, leading her to a dream lover. This golden thread seems to draw everyone in. Could this be a hint at her real-life allure? What do you think about all this?
Make music for a purpose. It's not just background music, or it's not just, you know, fluffy, light stuff.
This is not elevator satanic music.
It's ritualistic music. It is music that by even the act of listening to it, you are participating in a satanic ritual.
Taylor Swift is a witch. If you don't believe me, watch this.
Waiting for the signal, and I'll meet you after.
If you want to know more about the dangers of witchcraft and why you're seeing it so heavily in the music industry right now, then subscribe or follow for more.
Taylor Swift, she's a clone of the high priestess of the Church of Satan. Huh? What the fuck? Where did you learn this from? Watch, look at this pic, fam. Yeah, let me see. This is like a famous high priestess of the demonic church. Looks exactly like Taylor Swift. Now, what's crazy, they share a lot of similarities. They're both singer-songwriters, fam. They both have the same blonde hair, the same facial structure. Look, they even wear the same like lipstick. Look at the eyes. The eyes, fam. That's Taylor, and the eyebrows. A lot of people are starting to like see, oh yeah, Taylor Swift's demonic because of this one for the song called Willow. What happens is she uses her piano and out comes like a golden thread and it attracts all of these people. And once the people become in contact with it, they become obsessed with her. They become almost so obsessed where they become like a cult. And what is Taylor Swift's fandom like? Cult fam. It's like a cult. Oh my god. So theory is that she's actually either a clone of her or her just in disguise.
The idea that a mediocre country-turned pop star can do things like levitate all on her own unassisted, shine, glisten, and gleam like the brightest flame straight out of hell. Well, that would be a conspiracy theory and a rumor that's just so outlandish, right? You must be crazy to believe in witches and demons, right? So how did Taylor Swift do it then if she doesn't have the talent or the vocal ability? Become the biggest pop star on planet Earth and the richest. Did you know that Lucifer himself was a singer who influenced people to join him? He was more than a singer. His job in heaven was making music in the throne room. He was the master of every instrument known to man and a few that we don't know about. He was also so beautiful, it made human females throw themselves on him. He tried to usurp and overthrow God, our Father, and recruited 1/3 of the angelic force to fight for him. They lost and they were fallen from grace. Satan's sin is pride. His greatest accomplishment was convincing mankind that he doesn't exist. And how does he do that? He disguises himself as a beautiful, tall, skinny, white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed female that portrays that of an innocent 11-year-old girl in music that seems so sweet and holy and everything that you've ever wanted, tempting you with the innocent, with the sweet, an earworm so catchy and boppy that it just gets in your head and plays over and over, bringing that evil, demonic force right into your body, directly through your ears. Well, that's what they say anyway.
Taylor Swift is shady and has been lying to her fans for years. Fans are saying Taylor has been faking her victim persona and she's actually a mean girl in disguise. The debate stems from Taylor writing numerous songs about boys breaking her heart after she was a perfect girlfriend, but Taylor has actually been caught lying several times. Taylor lied about Joe Jonas breaking up with her in a 20-second phone call, and she's known to publicly slam most of her exes like Harry Styles, Jake Gyllenhaal, and John Mayer. But fans mostly called Taylor out for her fallout with the music label Big Machine. Taylor said the label was ruining her career and controlling what songs she could play. But an executive at Big Machine said Taylor could play any songs she wanted and had full control over her music catalog. The label even had to shut down its office for a day because they were receiving so many death threats from Taylor's fans. People said Taylor was acting immature and not taking responsibility for signing contracts she would later regret. They think even though Taylor says everyone else is the problem, she's the real problem.
Y'all, Taylor is really committing to the bit. Not only is she summoning the demons and performing a seance at tour, but this girl is performing blood sacrifices now. If there is anything Taylor can do, she can definitely commit to a bit. Obviously, this is a joke, and I am very happy that she is actually okay, because that cut looks very deep.
A substantial majority of the world's population believe in some kind of God. 8 billion Homo sapiens across 195 countries spanning across 7 continents. To believe in God, to believe in one higher power and being, in one singular creator, is to believe in the opposite of that. That evil exists, that Satan exists, that demons exist. It is a fact that over 80% of 8 billion people on planet Earth believe in one form of God or another. So is it really that far-fetched? Is it really too far down the rabbit hole to assume that people believe in the devil and demons?
What about infants that are passed from one relative to another and they're fine and they get to one person and they just start screaming and there's something there that's wrong and an infant can sense it? Is that infant reacting wrong? Is that a wrong reaction? Well, I would say that on a much more simplistic level, that is the way we react. If we instinctively feel that something's not right, we have to go by gut intuition.
What if you're wrong? What if you're wrong?
What is wrong and right? And in our case, we are making up our reality. We decide what's right and wrong. You are letting the Bible or Jesus Christ or whatever God may be
even
decide.
Common sense. I mean, even leaving God out of it to suggest that you can make up your own reality, my goodness, that's what they did in Tiananmen Square. That's what they did in Germany in 1933. I mean,
and that's what they're doing in America in
these are examples of people who created their own reality.
Everyone creates their own reality. The thing is, you speak for a consensus of reality which is acceptable. We speak for one which at this point in history is not acceptable. So it's just a question of who manipulates the media, who has the most money to put their reality forth. I'm telling you that I don't believe in good and evil, and nor can anyone decide what is good and evil. It's all based on historical and cultural values. In my point of view, the Christian religion is evil, in quotes, because it is negative. The millions of people who were killed in Europe, accused of being witches, children and women burnt at the stake, while crowds of good, pious Christians gathered around and watched them burn for a Sunday celebration.
I will call that evil.
I won't call it evil. I'll say it's human nature. Humanists, you have to understand this once and for all. Christians must know Satanism is not humanism. Humanism is based on Christian ethics and ideas. It just doesn't have Christ, but it has the same appalling ideas about equality, love for everybody, indiscriminate love for all living things, and we oppose those ideas.
Altruism, humanitarianism,
Humanism and Christianity are in bed together. They're the same thing. As far as I'm concerned, there's Satanism and then there's other people.
Because of what you said, you're not willing to condemn murder.
Let me answer your questions in 3 points. The masses. We have no regard for the masses. Satanism is a religion for the elite. It is a religion for leaders. It's a religion for competent people. It's not a religion for anyone who wants to be a Satanist. We don't say, welcome
the homeless, the handicapped, those with multiple sclerosis.
I don't want the homeless, the handicapped. That's your job. I don't want them. You've taken that on your shoulders. That's your job. You're doing a great job with the homeless. You help everyone. We're helping those who help themselves, as it says in your Bible.
Levitating all on her own, performing witchcraft rituals right on stage for thousands to witness, literally seeing the demon possession, witnessing it overtake her body, witnessing it entering her body, the look on her face and the look in her eyes. Whatever force is possessing Taylor Swift is cocky, arrogant, and conceited.
Is this proof that Taylor Swift is a witch? We see her screen frozen with this demonic eyes, and behind her we got to see a black figure. Some say that's her manifesting a demon. Let me know what you think on the comments below.
Taylor Swift is the ultimate mean girl. The ultimate mean girl. Bad Blood was literally her marching 12 hot bitches against Katy Perry over dancers. Like, let's just put that in perspective. So if Hailey Bieber doesn't like Taylor Swift, neither do I. Neither do a lot of people, because we see her for what she is, which is what Katy Perry said. She's a wolf in sheep's clothing. So I'm like, if you're looking for your person that does petty stuff and gets away with it, why don't the Selena fans take a look at Selena's best friend, Taylor Swift?
I was going to say, yeah, they're super close.
There's
the fans are intersected.
Taylor Swift is definitely a mean girl. Taylor Swift is the ultimate mean girl. The ultimate mean girl. Bad Blood was literally her marching.
Eras tour came around and I was like, I cannot miss this one. When I was there was a couple songs in particular that I wasn't too familiar with. When she began to sing those songs, my spirit began to grieve. I didn't really know what exactly was going on or why I was feeling like that. I shouldn't have done this, but I just stayed quiet. Fast forward, I began to see all of these things come to light on social media, where now there are chants going on at her concerts about witches and demonic things, and she's feeding off of that. And now all of the Christians are rising up, not only rebuking her, but rebuking her and just flaming hate. You know, honestly, it was easy for me to jump on that bandwagon, even if I didn't post about it. And I remember getting in the car with one of my friends, and my friend looking at me and being like, you know, God's still after her soul, right? And in that moment, my eyes were opened, and I was like, wait a second. Why, as Christians, are we not fighting for the souls of our leaders? There's such a surrender to the enemy when we begin to see evil things happening that we're like, oh, well, I guess that person's gone too, instead of you know what? If we fight for the leader, then we win all of their followers too. Like scripture says, we don't fight against flesh and blood. We fight against principalities and powers in the unseen world. There's obviously demonic happening because it reflects exactly what God says is evil in the Bible. We know it's grieving my spirit because I felt it. So why am I not praying for her? Why am I not fighting for her soul? Why am I not
like scripture says, correcting her in love. If I was in her position and this is what I was seeing from Christians, would I ever want to be anything like them?
I know that I'm a handful, baby. I know I never think before I jump.
Itong checkered na flooring ay nagre-represent sa Freemason. Yung steam naman na parang usok ay nagre-represent sa weather control at climate change.
Soon, even the weather will be a weapon under our control. We will be able to create droughts, floods, hurricanes, and even tsunamis.
At si Taylor Swift ang nagre-represent sa Antichrist.
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. And I'm a monster on the hill.
Ito yung bagong logo ng Disney na may 3 6 at may cross na upside down.
And you're the kind of guy the ladies want. And there's a lot of cool chicks out there.
Yung tinutukoy niya na cool chicks dito ay mga Freemasons.
And there's a lot of cool chicks out there. I know that I went psycho on the phone.
Alam kong naging baliw ako sa telepono.
I never leave well enough alone. And trouble's gonna follow where I go.
Hindi ako umaalis ng maayos mag-isa at susundan ng kalamidad kung saan ako pupunta. Itong mga ulap na ito ay mga harp stations na kumukontrol sa weather para mag-create ng disaster.
With our growing control of the weather through HARP and chemtrails, we will scare the public into accepting our global protection agendas.
So gagawa itong Antichrist ng problema. Ito ay ang climate change para tanggapin ng mga tao ang kanyang satanic world agenda.
All of our countries will be affected by a changing climate, but the world's poorest people will bear the heaviest burden from rising seas and more intense droughts, shortages of water and food. We will be seeing climate change refugees.
What's that like? I'm so sick of running as fast as I can.
Para sa mga hindi nakakaalam, itong lalaki na to ay si Taylor Swift. Nag-transform lang siya para maging daman. So itong music video ni Taylor Swift ay nagde-describe ng tagline ng Antichrist. Mother Nature doesn't stand a chance. Man versus disaster. Sa madaling salita ay climate change. Capitalize on the feeling. So kapag may disaster, mayroong fear. Madaling tanggapin ng tao ang kanilang satanic agenda.
As His Holiness Pope Francis has rightly implored the world, this is a moral calling. In just 2 months, the world has an opportunity to unite around a strong global agreement.
Itong mga Freemasons ay ang galamay ng Antichrist. Itong rainbow na bag, ito yung itinutulak nila na Agenda 2030.
The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals are 17 targets we must meet by 2030.
And now is the time when things are shifting. There's gonna be a new world order out there. There's gonna be a new world order out there. And we've got to lead it.
Ang New World Order ay ang tutupad ng Revelation 13 sa ilalim ng Antichrist.
And I promise that nobody's gonna love you like me.
Millions of people around the globe for 2 years came to the Eras Tour. If the music is demonic and satanistic itself, how many people are being inadvertently negatively affected by listening to it? Is that why fans of Taylor Swift and diehard Swifties are so in defense of her, blindly believing every word, every lyric, every note and melody that she puts out as if it is gospel, as if it is God's truth, when the only truth that remains is that Taylor Swift is mediocre when it comes to music and talent. In fact, she has to employ Max Martin and Jack Antonoff to ensure that every single one of her albums is going to be a hit. And without her studio musicians playing every one of her songs on stage, on tour, the truth is that Taylor Swift wouldn't be able to do what she does without those men.
Taylor Swift fans are reporting amnesia after her Eras concert tour.
So here's a little bit of dot connecting for you this morning. Go and watch this lady's video. Brilliant. She's done some great research on this. I've seen a few videos this morning. I've gone and had a look, and apparently there are thousands and thousands of people reporting the same thing. Amnesia after watching Taylor Swift's Eras concert. So what this lady was saying was that she went and did the gematria for the word Eris. Now, go and look at a video. She'll explain it all to you. But the two words that come up for the gematria, one of them were amnesia and the other one was abracadabra. Now, if you remember, I posted a good few weeks ago, if you go have a scroll down, about how they do real spell work in our TV shows. And do you remember I said to you, TVs and phones, windows, doors, all these things, they're all portals. Okay, so it's what we allow through these portals that make the difference. And if they are doing real spell work in the TV shows and things, they can then enter through this portal and affect us in real time. Okay, so that's just something to remember. So yeah, thousands of people reporting amnesia after having attended Taylor Swift's Eras concert. Also, I just want you to remember the Taylor Swift and Zeena LaVey connection. Now, do you remember that Zeena LaVey, her father was Anton LaVey? Anton LaVey was the founder of the Satanic Church, and Zeena LaVey was a high priestess in the Satanic Church that her father founded. So I don't think that's a coincidence. There's no such thing as coincidence. It's always synchronicity. So I'm not telling you this to scare you, to worry you, or to, oh my God, look what they're doing. I'm telling you this because when we are trying to focus on the good and the positive and move things forward, doing shit like this is going to throw us off our paths. Having spell work put onto us without us knowing about it is going to throw us completely off our path. So I'm telling you this so that we can be aware, so that you can understand and know what these people are doing to you and how they are trying to hinder your spiritual progress. Therefore, we can go in and put our own protection in. Once we have the awareness, it can't affect us. Okay, it's a bit like subliminal messaging. You know, when you see a subliminal in an advert, once you've seen that subliminal, you will see it every single time. And that subliminal will not affect you because you're aware of it and because you've seen it. So this is the reason why I want to bring this up. But go and have a little search in the search bar, Taylor Swift, amnesia, concert, whatever. Go and have a look how many people. Be aware.
Amnesia from the Eras tour? We have people talking about wanting to take their own lives and speaking in tongues on videos about Taylor Swift and the Eras tour. What is really going on, and how far is this demonic reach?
Thank my munchkins. I want to thank my manager, James. I want to thank my producer, Riot, for making the best music with me. Shout out all the other nominees in this category. I want to thank my label, 10K and Capital, for always supporting me. And of course, God. Without God, none of this would be possible.
Why does Taylor Swift shake her head no at the name of God, which is a response only a demon would have?
Taylor Swift is a total fraud. There's no way she's legit. I just spent 7 hours in a car ride listening to an exhaustive playlist of Taylor Swift, banger after banger, each one better than the last. Deep cuts, popular hits, everyone 10 out of 10. Explain to me how that's possible. Not even Counting Crows did that, all right? Even Led Zeppelin had some misses sometimes. But you want me to expect this young girl, when she was 14 years old, just started writing hits that were perfect every single time? Remember that movie with that guy who got hit by that bus? And then there was like a global EMP and all the lights went out and then everyone woke up and they forgot who the Beatles were, except for the one guy who then wrote all the songs, claimed them as his own, and then became globally famous. That's exactly what I think is happening with Taylor Swift. I think there's a band that has been deleted from our memory. And that band's music, she's plucked all of the hits, and that's what she's feeding us. Or she's from the future. I'm entertaining that theory as well, that she's from the future and she's stealing from multiple bands that we don't know about yet. Those are both more believable than this 14-year-old girl who just writes perfect music every single time. So you come up with a better explanation. and you convince me that that's the case. I don't know. It's just, everything's super suspicious to me.
Even crazier and further down the rabbit hole is the whole thought of the Freemasons. And when you look at a lot of Taylor Swift's music videos, her stage performances, her stage setups, you see a lot of Freemason and Illuminati symbols everywhere, not just employing their color schemes, sacred texts, and symbols. Even going as far as on the Eras tour, doing the Freemason Lodge dance in front of thousands and thousands of people every single night. Now, in totality, collectively, this can't just be a coincidence, an isolated incident. There has to be something more strategically happening here, or this truly is something more sinister. This is a demon playing a demon right here on Earth.
Did Taylor Swift actually sell her soul to the devil? Watch this. Clearly people don't know. Taylor Swift used to be a young, honest, and pure, talented musician. However, at the age of 18, she released a song with a caption in it saying, "I danced with the devil," and the whole song actually talking about selling her soul to the devil. When you sell your soul to the devil for fame, there's a high price to pay. Now Taylor Swift has a music video with witches casting spells and even performing demonic rituals live on stage at her concerts. Don't be deceived by what the culture often calls family-friendly or totally fine, for surely what's on her will get on you if you participate with it. The devil has a plan for this generation, but God does as well. And if you want to learn more about that, subscribe or follow now.
Here's why you should never go to a Taylor Swift concert ever again. Look.
Summon that demon, bitch.
She was doing straight witchcraft on stage, and look at all those people that was there. And did you not hear the person in the crowd that said, "Summon those demons"? B.I.? Like, this is crazy. So some people actually know exactly what she's doing, but they're just under a spell. Let me know what you think in the comments, and also be sure to follow and subscribe for more.
It's sad the amount of unhinged spiritualists on this app who think they know what demons are, what a demonic force is. Listen, if you claim to be spiritual, yet you still run around calling things demons, calling things demonic, you use this term as a derogative and condescending way to adherently describe things, that makes you not spiritual. That makes you a Christian with extra steps. For example, if you view something, if you see something, and just because you don't agree with it, you don't like it, you think it's bad, you call it demonic, it's a demon, yeah, you're not spiritual. And individuals who happen to view these angels and demons as these sci-fi based TV fictional characters are actually not spiritual. They're low-key ungrounded and might be seeping into psychosis. You might need some help. Basically put, demons or demonic presence are negative beliefs that attach onto our psyche. And when they attach onto our psyche, when we take on these beliefs, they begin to project outwards. They become our day-to-day experience. And when you take on beliefs that you're not ready for, that you're not ready to do the work for, you're not ready to learn about, get better with, you ultimately end up getting devoured by your own illusions. You end up going into psychosis. You can't handle the beliefs that you've taken on, that you're creating for yourself. And that's ultimately what all these people are doing when they view these demons as this sci-fi creature that's gonna eat them and whatnot. This is furthermore proven in any branch of esotericism, because when you start to actually look at it, you realize that angels and demons aren't actually real. They don't exist here whatsoever. And the only way they become present here, they manifest here, is through the elements or bacteria. It's not some supreme divine being coming into your life to fuck things up. It's probably a common cold as you're coughing your ass to the doctor. Remember, baby, the one true emotion is unconditional love. I love you all. Spread some love today.
I am like appalled and disgusted and so frustrated and so disappointed in Taylor Swift. And
all right, I'll say the controversial thing that no one else wants to say. Taylor Swift is in her moderate, right-leaning sports boy era, and all the Swifties are in denial about it this week. Because they keep forgetting something very important. Taylor Swift is not an activist. Her name and brand is a billion-dollar corporation, and she has always acted in the interest of that corporation. Right now, unfortunately, coming out and standing with the left is not what is popular. And I want to be clear, I listen to some of Taylor Swift's music. I am not a Taylor Swift hater. I am just realistic about who she is. I've made this video a million times, so let's dive into it again. I also want to make it clear that there are valid criticisms of Taylor Swift, and then there's like, get out of here, you just want to be a hater. Fans are upset about a number of things this week. For starters, she was seen cuddling up with Brittany Mahomes, who is a huge right-winger. And as always, she has been completely silent on everything that's been going on in the news. A lot of them are also upset about her style choices recently, saying that since she got with Travis Kelce, her clothes have been worse. And from what I've noticed, she's one of those girls who kind of just like matches what her boyfriend is doing. And right now she's dating an athlete. She's hanging out with a lot of people on the right, so her style is going to mimic that. And I'm not saying she's a bad person. She still does do good. She donates to charity, but she often is like the last person to speak on topics, and she only really speaks on them when they affect her, which is essentially one of the definitions of white feminism. And you'll see her do this a lot in her earlier career, when she would only really touch on feminism when weaponizing it to defend herself from critics, which I'm not saying was wrong. Usually the critics were misogynistic and wrong still. Her fans like to claim that she's one of the only ethical billionaires, but there's a lot of arguments to be made about that, from her flight patterns to the excessive amount of merch she sells. When she was under controversy for dating Maddie Healy, who had made some, let's say, questionable comments about rapper Ice Spice, suddenly Taylor Swift became besties with Ice Spice. And there's the AI-generated images, which have been very harmful to women and children for many years, but she stepped in suddenly when it started affecting her. After there was a lot of controversy about her never speaking up on things, she released a documentary essentially infantilizing herself as if she doesn't have access to her own social medias, so her team weren't allowing her to speak up. And following her previous patterns, she remained silent on politics until there was a lot of controversy that she might be on the right, so she waited till the last second to announce her support for Kamala this fall. Now, am I saying this makes her a bad person? No, I think she's still pretty much nets positive because she does do a lot of good. But you'll notice a lot of the good that she does is still a very neutral stance, like donating to food shelves or registering people to vote at her concerts. She's still doing good, but that does not make her an activist. So when she stays silent on issues in controversial times, it's not shocking or surprising to me. She's been pretty vocal about who she is. You just have to pay attention. She's never once called herself an activist.
So how did Taylor Swift become worth almost $1.7 billion in just under 20 years? How did she acquire that kind of financial portfolio and assets when she barely has the talent or the dance ability? That, in totality, collectively, combined with everything that you have just seen, a lot of people believe it is Satan himself. Before his fall, Lucifer had a prestigious role in heaven as the anointed cherub and the morning star. Very weird that Taylor Swift was glowing like a morning star, who was responsible for guarding God's throne and leading the worship of the angelic host, possibly as a master musician, leading the angelic choir. His position was characterized by unparalleled beauty, wisdom, and authority over other angels. However, pride in his own perfection led him to rebel against God, trying to usurp him, resulting in his own expulsion from heaven and his downfall. And clearly, the heavenly responsibilities of Lucifer was mostly worship and music. He was deeply involved in the worship of God, with some interpretations suggesting that he led the celestial worship. Perhaps as the chief musician and the head of the choir, as indicated by Ezekiel's description of musical instruments being prepared for him. As the morning star, he held a unique position of honor and authority, potentially leading as a large company of other angels. His fall from grace, pride, and rebellion, driven by pride in his own beauty and intelligence, Lucifer desired to be worshipped himself and challenged God's authority. He initiated rebellion with 1/3 of the other angels, leading to their being cast out of God's presence, and after his fall, he became known as Satan, the accuser, whose ongoing goal is to undermine God's established authority and lead others astray. Ezekiel 28:13 of the King James Version and the New King James Version seems to hint that Satan was involved with music in heaven. Quote, "The workmanship of your timbrels and pipes was prepared for you on the day you were created," unquote. And of course, you can find the 2 scripture passages that describe Satan before he fell in Ezekiel 28:12-19 and Isaiah 14:12-15. The demon Beleth is associated with music, as demonologists state that a variety of music is heard before him when he appears, riding on a pale horse. Beleth is a king in hell who controls over 85 legions of demons. His appearance is preceded by a cacophony of music. Beleth is a formidable figure in hell, commanding a vast army of demons. He is often depicted riding a pale horse, a symbol of his powerful but potentially destructive presence. And Taylor Swift has a song called White Horse in the beginning of her career. You say you're sorry. That face of an angel comes out just when you need it to, as I pace back and forth all the time, 'cause I honestly believed in you. Stupid girl, I should have known that I'm not a princess. This ain't a fairy tale. And there you are on your knees, begging for forgiveness, begging for me, just like I always wanted, but I'm so sorry. I'm gonna find someone someday who might actually treat me well. This is a big world, and it's too late for you and your white horse. Belphegor is a demon that is associated with invention, discovery, and the desire for wealth and fame, while also being a chief demon of sloth. Lucifer is often depicted as tempting people with lust, ego, wealth, and fame, while other demons, such as Clawneck, are invoked in modern occult practices for abundance and prosperity of wealth, fame, money, power. This demon is a shapeshifter who can appear as a beautiful woman, young, innocent, naive, gullible. This demon's goal is to trick people into seeing easy fame and wealth. But Lucifer himself and the demons that he commands is portrayed as a tempter, appealing to the human desires for sex, wealth, fame, and money to serve his agenda, using fame to promote his agenda, encouraging jealousy and pride. The demon Clawneck in modern occult practices is sometimes invoked to attract financial abundance and prosperity. Dacunda is a demon mentioned in some teachings as a senior demon of the love of money and fame, leading to excessive pride.
It and resist it. There is no such thing as a slut. There is no such thing as a bitch. There is no such thing as someone who's bossy. There's just a boss. We don't want to be condemned. We're like, sorry, was I loud in my own house that I bought with the songs I wrote about my own life?
Taylor Swift wants crowd to chant "Summon the Demons."
The Willow performance is based off of the Willow music video. Folklore came up first, and it's supposed to be like folk songs and like stories that get passed on and on and on. And it's the first time that she's written about like not her life. And Evermore is kind of an extension of that. When you're in a cottage in the middle of nowhere, it's what next? Willow became like a little witchy song, and then this became a little banjo song, and then this became a this song. Like, so everything has its own themes.
She chose Satanism as a theme, and
witchcraft?
I don't think witchcraft
is bad.
I'm gay. I'm already. What are they going to do? Send me to hell again? You know what I mean?
Oh, so
not
summon the
chanting that.
demon is a chant that's
No, it's
not
not.
new. It's an old
No,
chant.
it's not a chant.
Three,
When
let's go.
concert first started back in March, people were accusing her of witchcraft during that, and so he probably made that TikTok to be funny, and then she's acknowledging like people are crazy.
Yeah, you know what's not funny?
Witchcraft. I know you want to believe this, so I will let you.
What if I told you Taylor Swift is part of a secret society controlling the music industry? And the craziest part? She might be leaving us clues in her songs. Stay with me, because this one will blow your mind. Alright, Swifties and conspiracy lovers, let's dive into this wild theory. Some fans believe Taylor Swift is secretly connected to the Illuminati, and she's been dropping hints in her music and performances for years. First, let's talk about the number 13, Taylor's favorite number. She's obsessed with it. But did you know that in numerology, 13 is linked to transformation, power, and secret societies? Coincidence? Maybe. Then there's her album, Reputation. The entire aesthetic snakes black and white symbolism, hidden messages looks eerily similar to classic Illuminati imagery. And remember when she disappeared from the public eye before that album dropped? Some say she was initiated into a higher level of the secret order. And here's where it gets really creepy, her music videos. In Look What You Made Me Do, she sits on a golden throne with two snakes coiling around her, a symbol often linked to the occult. And in Bejeweled, she literally walks through a pyramid covered in symbols, just like the ones associated with, you guessed it, the Illuminati. But here's the biggest twist. Some fans believe Taylor isn't just in the Illuminati, they think she's actually the reincarnation of Zeena Levy, the daughter of the founder of the Church of Satan. The resemblance? Uncanny. And Zeena left the church around the time Taylor was born. So, is Taylor Swift just a marketing genius, or is she hiding something much bigger?
Taylor Swift is one of the most popular pop singers of our day. People have been experiencing amnesia going to her concerts. Now, what is her spiritual beliefs that she has, and what is this thing that's happening with her shows and some of the demonization that is being portrayed through her music and her show? There are scientific explanations to why people don't remember a Swift concert, but it could also be that they have been temporarily possessed. Exactly the situation for every single person who doesn't remember her concert. I can't speak of that, but I do know that if you keep showing up to places where witchcraft is glorified, what spells are being sung and praised about, it is no surprise that we can give place to the enemy in our life. We shouldn't embrace, celebrate, and get our minds desensitized with witchcraft, spells, magic, and all of that, because the Bible is very clear. These things are an abomination to God.
Jeffree Star just exposed the whole Illuminati.
Illuminati, is the Illuminati real?
Yes.
Are there any other secret societies other than Illuminati that maybe don't get as much press?
Yeah, but they're evil and I don't fuck with them.
Okay, so the Illuminati is not evil. They don't do like blood sacrifices.
See, the problem is when there's people in control of anything, they get greedy, egos, so they ruin things and they make it evil.
Mm-hmm. Care to elaborate?
No.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. And is the Illuminati like celebrity based, or are there politicians also involved with that? It's just money based.
Mm-hmm. And then the celebrities are used as a vessel.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How much money?
Vessel.
How much money does someone have to make to be in?
Or what you're willing to do to not be broke anymore.
What does that mean?
Dun, dun.
Yeah. You speak in riddles. Like you give me just enough where I'm like, I don't know.
You have to, so I don't get my plane bombed or killed later, you know?
It's your fear for your life.
In Hollywood, if you're in the industry, the devil, they, like Illuminati, all that shit, they try to get you. You just gotta be smart and have discernment and have God's favor over you.
What are some of the ways they do try to get to a person of that magnitude?
Let me tell you, they invite you to these parties, these house parties. Whoop the Whoop gonna be there, like your favorite rapper, the big ass person. Before you get in, you gotta give us your phones. They might do some gay shit to somebody and record it and tell them, oh, if you expose us, we gonna post it everywhere. Let me tell you an experience I went through personally. Should I say a name? It was Bella Thorne party. I got invited from some other friends. It was on Halloween. I already don't celebrate Halloween. That's the devil's day. But I happened to be with them. You know, this is the beginning of all this COVID stuff. We get up there, they talking about, oh yeah, you can't bring your phone in, and then you gotta sign some papers. What am I signing some shit for to get into a party? Like what? Like I'm from Atlanta, we don't do shit like that. And then this is where it really threw me off. They said they had to prick your blood to get in. I said, oh no, I'm good. Everyone else went, I called my Uber and left. Like, that's the shit where I think they be trying to get you. I'm good. Like, that shit gonna come naturally. I don't gotta prick my finger, take my blood to get into a party.
Be honest. Are you a part of the Illuminati?
No. Are you in the Illuminati? You're a very angry person. You ask a lot of questions with a lot of anger in your voice. I just want you to know that. It doesn't make a person entirely comfortable.
Making people comfortable isn't my job.
Breaking news, Taylor Swift news, girl. If you want to find out the conflama that's currently happening, you know what, this is for the haters. You know, the haters, especially the women. I don't know why women would hate on her. I can see some of the toxic masculine men, but let's just say there is this rumore that is going around that is being putting out there by maggots and whatnot. I'm sure the Christians, but they said that Taylor Swift's current fashionable look, her glittered freckles, which she's helped a small business gain some notoriety, and you know we're all about I'm a small business owner, girl, so I'm all about that. Well, they apparently has said that the glitter freckles are the mark of the beast, that Taylor Swift is trying to turn people to the dark side. Motherfuckers, you need to pray for your own souls, girl, because you are Delulu. Girl, this is like way beyond, like, this is like J-Lo Delulu. This is even more than J-Lo Delulu, girl. This is like bonkers. Leave Tay-Tay alone.